Welcome to today's Windows 10 class. Hope you had a great weekend and you're all refreshed and ready to go here for our Monday morning class. So this is going to be fun. Last week we had the PowerPoint. We're continuing on in this series of Microsoft Office. We're going to be doing Excel today. And a number of you have asked about doing this Excel, and you heard about people that do it, or colleagues that are still working, or maybe your nieces and nephews, or children or grandchildren are using Excel, Excel, Excel. What's the big deal about Excel? Well, it's primarily a business tool. Major corporations do spreadsheets in Excel and calculate their budgets and financial planning and they round off their numbers in the millions. But you could use it for just your own home budget, and or even for your church or your organization or your club or even your family. We want to see what the numbers are, and you can graphically illustrate them by using charts and graphs. Now, this class does not go into the super high-end, complicated business office type stuff, pivot tables and all of that. This is way beyond the scope of this class. This is for what most of the members need, and just an introduction to it, what it is, the concepts are, how to use it, and also I'm going to be just that. Then we're going to move out of that and go into another product called Google Sheets, which is a free online version from Google, which is just as powerful for using BASIC. And the reason I'm doing that is two. One, not everyone has Excel, and it's not free. In fact, to get it now, you have to subscribe to Microsoft Office for $100 a year or $10 a month. And if you're not willing to do that, it's not worth it to you. Even though you do get Word, you do get PowerPoint, and you are able to share it with 5 other people, so maybe you all can divvy up the money and do that. And you have to install it and download it and all that stuff, okay? Whereas Google Sheets, part of the Google Suite, Google Docs Suite, it's free, it's online, you don't have to do anything. But I'm going to start off showing you the Excel and the basics, and then we're going to see how easy it is to just transfer that and go right into the Google product, alrighty? So I'm going to open up Excel here. I'm going to click on search and go to apps. I have Excel open recently. If yours is not there, you just type Excel. I may believe I didn't have it open recently for you all, okay? Excel, there it is. Again, this is if you have Excel, okay? I know that not everyone does. All right, there it is. And the first thing you see is a blank workbook, all right? And I'm going to use this just to explain the concept, all right? Excel is what's known as a spreadsheet application. And spreadsheet carries over from the old ledgers and accounting sheets. They would spread these big sheet on these tables, and these people that worked in finance, they would sit there and enter in all the numbers and calculations on this, what you see here. They had a sheet that was lined the way you see it with lines and columns, so they could keep things in order and do the calculations with their calculators, or even before that, their slide rules, and it made it really helpful for them. But we're now in the modern time, in the computer age, so we don't need to write it down on paper, and because we have it on the computer, we can do a lot more things. It's much faster, and you can do a lot more things to powerfully present the numbers as pictures and tell a story, all right? But let me just get the basic stuff out the way here, all right? I mentioned columns and rows. Well, you have columns going across the top here from A to Z. Actually, it goes way beyond A to Z. It goes through the alphabet several hundred times. It goes A to Z, and then AA to AZ, and then after that it goes BA to BZ, and then CA to CZ, and all through the whole alphabet again, and then it goes through every single letter, starting, and then you have ZA, ZBC, and then it goes to 3 digits of the alphabet over and over. So it's probably several thousand times that you have this. So you have a lot of, suffice to say, you've got tons of columns, right? And the rows here are on the, down the left. The numbers are rows, the columns are letters, all right? And here's A, and it goes all the way down to infinity. I don't know. How many columns are in here? What would you guess? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? Let's find out. I'm going to hold down the control and press the down arrow. Oh, that was the wrong one. Yikes. Okay. Let's see here. All right, I'm not getting what I want here. It's something like 100 and something thousand. I'm not pressing the right key. Well, that's all right. You hold down your control and then the down arrow on yours. I'm doing this in a Windows inside a Mac, so the keys don't work the same way. There we go. I got it. All right. The last one is 101,048,576 rows. I think that's enough to cover your budget, wouldn't you say? All right, good. So let's go back to the home. I'm going to go in the box here. This is the name box, and you type in the name of the cell. What does that mean? Okay. Each of these little, when the column meets a row, you see this rectangle here? These are known as cells. And each cell has its own address. And the address is indicated by, first, the column letter, and second, the row number. So the first cell on a spreadsheet is cell A1, not 1A, A1. And if I go to the next one, this is cell B1. And you see right above here, that is the name box. It's telling you what cell you are in. And if I click way over here, I'm at cell K15. How do I know? Because the K is highlighted and the 15 is highlighted in the columns, and also it's right here in the name box. So columns and rows, names and cells, all right? And everything is based upon the cells. And you can move around the cell. You notice I just moved the mouse and clicked, but you can also click in one, and I can use the right arrow key, and the down arrow key, and the up arrow key on the keyboard, the left arrow key. If I use the tab key takes them across to the right to the next cell. If I hold down shift and type tab, it takes it to the left. If I press the enter key, it goes down to each row by row. Okay. If I hold on the shift key and type enter, it goes backwards. And of course, you can just click wherever you want. So if I say I want to go to cell H2, it's easy. Here's H, here's 2. There we are. Well, if I want to go to cell XX 2045, well, that would take, I'm going to scroll all the way over and look for, no. I'm going to click in the name box. I'm going to type XX 2045. And I'm going to press the enter key. Takes me right there to cell XX 2045. And if I want to get right back home to the first cell, which is the home cell, I click back in the name box, highlight that, delete that, and type A1, and press enter, and I'm back to the first cell. All right. So that's the basics of it. Now, in the interest of time, I'm not going to do too much. Let's see here. In here, because it'll there it is. I'll be duplicating it when we get to the other program. But this is what the basics are, all right? And guess what? everything works the same here as in Google Sheets. Some things are put in different places, but if I want to put some information in here, I'll always do that, all right? Say I want to make a budget. I'll put here, budget. Oh, I'll just put some items here, okay? I'll just put in, I'll call it grocery list. I just type in, I click on the cell first and start typing, then I press enter, and now that information is in that cell, alrighty? Now I'm going to make my list. I'm going to leave a space, and I'm going to type some items. All right? I'm going to put fruit. I'm going to put bread. I'm pressing enter after each one. I'm going to put dairy. I'm going to put eggs. Press enter. I'm going to put, I don't know, some kind of meat. All right? Fish. And cereal. All right? Cereal? No, we want cereal. There we are. Good. Now, in the column next to it, I'm going to put the prices for these. Now, here's something you should know. There are two types, Excel recognizes two types of entries, two types of data. One is labels, and the other one is values. Values are numbers. Labels are text. And they should always be forever distinct. You can put a number next to a word in a label, that doesn't make a difference. But if you put a letter next to a number in a value, it's no longer a value. For instance, so I'm going to get prices for these, okay? I'm going to put, I don't know, $4.65 for this one, okay? Now, if I put, and you notice that the numbers always go to the right, the values, and the letters always go to the left. They always align to the left. But if I put in here 465 and I put the letter G afterwards and press enter, it goes over to the left because it's no longer a number. It's no longer a value, I should say. Now it's a label. And labels cannot be added, subtracted, multiplied. You can't do any numerical functions on labels. You can only do numerical functions on values, which are actual numbers. So anything that goes over to the left is a label. So I'm going to double click on here and edit it and delete that G, and now it's once again a value. All right? I got Breet, it should be bread. Double click, press enter. All right, I don't buy bread, so I have no idea what bread costs. I'm going to put in here $5.66. Okay. Dairy, that could be anything. That could be milk. I'll just put 3. I don't drink milk either. So let's see what's going on here. Eggs, sometimes we get the organic free range. Okay, 5.20. Okay, meat, that could be anything, right? Pork, meat, whatever. I'll just put some generic things. See, about 3 pounds or something or whatever. I'll just put 6.88 for 6.88. I'm making these up. Don't be frustrated. Okay, fish is more expensive. Depends on what you buy. Some fresh salmon or something, a pound, half pound, or whatever. That might be $12.33. Okay, and a box of cereal depends on what you get. I'll just put $4.79. Okay, good. Now, these are numbers, but they don't indicate what kind of numbers they are. Excel lets you determine them to be prices or dollar amounts or percentages or just plain numbers. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to click and hold down and drag the mouse down to right there. Actually, I'm going to do one more, one below. One below. You'll know why in a minute. And I want all of these to be currency, to be dollars. So I'm going to go over here in the ribbon, over to the middle here, under number, and click the dollar sign. And now these are all currency. They have the dollar sign there, all right? And I want to add these up. What do I do? You know, maybe I should make this a little bigger. I should have done it from jump. You probably can't see this that well, huh? Look at that. That's probably better, right? Okay, there we are. I'm going to click underneath here, and this is telling Excel that I'm going to do something for this bottom one. I want a total. I want to have a total here, right? Now, already showing here is on the right side, all the way over in the ribbon, it says editing, and there's a sigma. That's the Greek letter sigma, and this is, which means change, do something. I'm going to click on it, and automatically it has the word sum that's highlighted. It means add it up. I'm going to click that, and it automatically takes all of these numbers here, and it gives me a formula. Sum, in parentheses, B4 colon B10. What the heck is that? This is a formula that's telling me, whenever you have an equal sign in Excel, that's saying this is a formula. Sum is the function. Sum is adding up. What is the sum of all of that? And then you're telling it to add up the actual cells, not the numbers. You're going to actually, Excel doesn't care what's in the cell. You want to add up whatever those cells are. So this is called a range. And the first part of the range is a set of cells that has a beginning point and the end point. And the beginning point of this one is B4, because this is in column B and row 4. And the end point is B10, column B, row 10. And the answer is going to go here in B11. So it's already written for you. I don't have to, in another class we would later on, a more advanced one, we actually learn to write these formulas. But it's all written for you. So all I have to do now is press the enter key, and there's a total. 4328. So that's the basic idea here. So I'm going to stop right here, and we're going to go out of Excel, and I'm going to close that. I should probably copy that. Let me highlight that, just that part there, just in case I need it. I may not, but I'm going to copy it. All right. I'm going to close Excel. I'm not going to save it. And now I'm going to go to the internet. You can use Chrome if you want. I'm using Microsoft Edge because it's based on, the new Microsoft Edge is based on the Google Chromium software, so it works just like Chrome. Alrighty, let's make this a little bigger here. All right, don't be stubborn. There we are. All right, so I'm going to go to, and it's called, I'm going to call Sheets. I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to go to google.com. Okay? Here's Google. Now, there, up here on top of the screen, you have sign in on the top right, and then you have this little checkerboard here. I'm going to click on that checkerboard, and this gives you all the Google apps. Right? And the one we want is called Sheets, which is just like Excel, as in spreadsheet. So I'm going to click on Sheet. They want me to sign in with my Google account, which is my Gmail account. I see. I'm not going to let you see my password. It's showing my password. Okay. Okay. There we are. Well, that looks the same, right? It looks almost exactly the same, except it doesn't have a ribbon on top. It just has a toolbar and a menu bar. But it's still a spreadsheet, as you can see, right? So what we're going to do now is do the same thing. You have cells, you have columns indicated by letters, and you have numbers for rows. And remember, this is all free. Not only is it free, it saves automatically to the cloud. You all you have to do is sign in with your Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, you can easily get one. Get a Google ID. Go to Gmail and sign one and get one. And then you can open this on any device, any computer, to sign into your account, and you'll see all your work. Also, there are these apps, the sheets and docs and the slides are available on iPhone and Android tablets, and uh, and also you can sign in on any Mac to go to your browser and do the same thing. Okay, so it's wherever you are, that's where it is. Now, we're going to call this one budget. Untitled spreadsheet. I'm naming it budget. I'll call it home budget. Just for a quick and easy example, okay? Home budget. So, let's start the budget, and I type the word budget down here for the title. I'm going to press 2 times to leave a space. And let's put the budget items, the monthly budget in here. And we'll just put housing. I won't say what it is, rent or mortgage. Once again, let me make this bigger. Can I make this bigger? Let's see. Oh, here it is, 100%. Now the zoom up here is up here. See what it says 100%? I'm gonna click that, make it 150. That's better. You can see it now, right? Okay. Housing, and then we'll put food, and then electricity. Now, some of you don't play. Some of you live in those apartments where you don't pay electricity. The rest of us do, and it's a whole different world. So then you can just put you put whatever you want to put there. All right. I'm gonna put. I don't pay heat. Some of you do. Some of you have homes have to pay heat. I'm gonna put cable, phone. Let's just put medicine. We'll put, if you go out of let's see, dry cleaning, right? I'm just guessing things. Laundry, just whatever you want to put in here. I'm just throwing stuff in here, all right? Now, I'm gonna make all these numbers totally up, all right? How, I don't know what you rent, what you pay. If you pay more, you pay that. Who knows what anybody pays? So, I'm just gonna put 1988 for housing, all right? And food is going to be 366, and electricity is 177, and the cable depends on what kind of plan you have, 154. All right. Some of you pay less, some of you pay more. All right. Phone. This is let's assume this is the cell phone and home. Let's put home phone and cell phone together. Right. Let's just throw it all together. I don't know. All right. 91. All right. Medicine. This could be anything. This could be anything. 102. All right. Dry cleaning. 43. All right. And laundry. How do you calculate that, right? The soap. If you have your own machines, you put money in per month. What do you do? I'll make them a number. All right, $60 even. Okay. Now we have the budget here. All right. And now I want to add up these numbers here. So I'm going to highlight like I did before. Come down to here. All right. Click there. Actually go up. But I want the number to be here. The box to be here. Click that. Go up. Okay. Let's see if this works the same way in Google Sheets. Here's the Sigma up here. The functions. Now, if I click on this, it actually tells me to choose which one. It doesn't assume that I want sum. So I have to click sum. Oh, okay. I made a mistake here. So I shouldn't have highlighted the one below, just to highlight. This is a little different. In Excel, Microsoft wants you to highlight the one below. With this one, I don't have to. I'm just going to highlight the actual numbers. Okay. And click and choose sum. And there it is, right there. And it's the same formula. It's B3 to B10. The other one was B4. I guess that was a different level. It already knows that I want to include. When I highlight it, it knows that I want to include. This is the range of cells. Cell B3, cell B10 has a colon in between that lets it know that it's all of the ones from the beginning, the first one and the last one, and all of them in between. So I'm going to press the enter key, and there's my total. Now, what did we forget to do? We didn't indicate that these were dollar, these were money, currency. So I'm going to now highlight all of this, including the total. I click one and drag down, let go. And we have just like on Excel, we have the numbers here, and the format. I'm going to click on the dollar sign, format as currency, and there it is. Now this includes the cents, the zeros after. Now if we don't have any cents after these dollars, we don't need to show the zero after. We don't need to show those decimal places. So I'm pointing here. This is a decreased decimal places. See with the arrow pointing to the left. I'm going to click one and click again. Now we have no decimal places. And now there's our budget sitting there with the total amount that is spent. Well, what if you like to see what that looks like on a graph or a chart? All right, so I'm going to now highlight this column and this column. I'm holding the mouse down and dragging over and then dragging down. Now, some of you all I've seen in class had difficulty with the dragging with the mouse. Some people do, it's still new to them. So what you can do instead, if you have trouble dragging like that, you can click on the first item, which is the housing, hold the shift key down on your keyboard, and then use the arrow keys on the bottom right side of the key, those up, down, left, right arrow keys. Use the right arrow key and don't let go of the shift key. Keep holding it down. Right arrow, and I want to go down, down, down. Just tap, 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 tap. Stop. We don't want the total in our graph. So now I release the shift key. All right. So now we're going to see how it's done. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a chart. Let's see here. Now we got to find where these are. Well, we go over here in the menu, in the tools, and over towards the right, not far from the Sigma, there's a little box here, and it says Insert Chart. I click on Insert Chart, and it automatically assumed the pie chart. I didn't ask for a pie chart, but that's what it does. Now let me zoom out a little bit so you can see more. Go to 125. Okay. It took those numbers and made a chart, and it automatically put the percentages. Oh, electricity is 5.9% of my budget, and housing is 66.7%. Boy, that's a lot. Okay, that's 2/3. All right. Now, that's nice, but what if you wanted your chart to look a little different? All right, back again. I don't know what happened. My image froze for some reason, so I had to rejigger this thing. But anyway, so let's go ahead, and now here's our pie chart. All right, I just dragged it up here in front of the numbers, and we have it. It's nice, right? Little pie chart. But hey, you know what? You can make it look a little better. I clicked on Customize here, and I come down to 3D, and now it's a 3D chart. Right, looks more real, all right? Well, what if you don't want a pie chart? Well, let's go back to Setup. And let's choose, instead of a 3D pie chart, let's click over here, Chart Type. Well, maybe you want to show a column chart. So here is a column chart. And that shows it arranged by columns. And it has the amounts here and shows you how much, and housing is the biggest amount of all. Alrighty, that's that. Maybe you want to do a different. I go back to chart type, style, and I can do a bar chart. That's a bar chart, and it arranges the information that way. So there's lots of ways you can arrange this information to make it visual, to give you an idea of what the numbers really mean in terms of your human self, rather than just a computer and numbers on a page. Now there are people who just love numbers and see numbers and feel numbers and get it. But most people need to see a picture. That's why we have charts and graphs, right? Okay, so let me go back here and try. I'm gonna go back to the pie. I always go, oh, here's a 3D bar. Look at that. All right, but I want to go to chart style. And, oh, I lost it. Setup. There we are. Under setup, bar chart, and we have pie chart. There we are. Here's 3D pie. There it is. Nice and pretty. Okay? Simple. You don't have to know a whole lot. Oops. You don't have to know a whole lot to do this stuff. Okay? This is, I'm trying to drag it down. Hang on. It's not letting me drag it down. There you go. Drag it down. And you can, here you can edit the chart, delete the chart, publish chart. You can move to its own sheet. Now this is the same thing you can do in Excel. I'm gonna close the editor here. And the 3 dots are here. If I wanna move it to its own sheet, what does that mean? Maybe I don't want it to be on the same sheet as the numbers. So if I click move to own sheet, and now it's here by itself. I can see the numbers nice. I can see the pie nice and big, even though the numbers are small. All right. I went back to edit chart, and maybe I want to change the size of the text because it's very hard to read, right? You know, it's kind of. Yeah. See the font size. It's all default. All right, so I can't. Oh, slice label here. Slice label. This is important. Slice label is none. I can make it the value, and now I have the money. The actual amounts. Here are the percents, and here are the actual amounts. And there we are. Okay. I can make the text color different. I can make the text color white, so it shows up better. I can make it bold, so it reads better, and here you have your chart. So that's a little more advanced than beginning. I want to show you what's possible, but the main thing is you want to be able to see, now where is our sheet, our worksheet, our budget? Down here in the bottom of the screen, it says sheet 1. And there we are, there's our budget, okay? And that's a basic look at how to put some numbers and things into Excel, or actually in this case, Google Sheets. Now remember, this, as a review, I highlighted all this information here, except for the total, and I went to the little icon here. It says Insert Chart. I can insert a second chart. Here's another one, Insert. And this time, instead of a pie, I'm going to make it a bar. And there we are. And I will make it chart style. I'll make it a 3D bar. Okay? So you can do it that way, wherever you want. The most important thing is you can show your numbers as pictures. And you can type in your stuff right here in the columns and rows. And that's a brief, basic introduction to Excel and Google Sheets. Why Google Sheets? Because it's free, you can use it everywhere, all right? But if you have Excel, and you'd rather use Excel, you can always use that. Not a problem, okay? And that's how that's done. So, I hope you all got some good information out of that, and it was worth your while to go ahead and look into it. Maybe you want to try something with this, make yourself a low budget. Alrighty. Okay, folks, so that's our lesson for today. I wish you have a happy, healthy, and safe day for the rest of today, and we'll see you again next week. And those of you that are taking the other classes, the seminar, the trip, the iPhone, iPad, and Android, I'll see you in one of those. Alrighty. Okay, everybody, this is Victor Carr signing off.